privilege to meet you guys here today. I'd like to just open us with a word of prayer. Father God, I just thank you so much for this time. I thank you for this opportunity to speak with these amazing, special women here today that you have handpicked to be here. And I just pray for those that can't be here today, Lord, that if they're home or they're ill or their children are sick, I just pray a special blessing upon them, that they would feel better and get back with their sisters as soon as possible. I pray, Lord, that you would fill my heart and my mind with the Holy Spirit, Lord, so that my words are not mine but yours, and that they would sink deep inside the hearts of these beautiful women here today. And I pray these things in your Son's name. Amen. Okay, so in 2009, God put a dream in my heart to write a book. And I've always loved writing. I did creative writing. Kirsty, can you give me my water? I am creative writing in high school, and I always like to write poems and things like that. Thank you so much. Things like that. But when he put the dream in my heart to write a book, I just felt like let's just start with a blog. Let's just start there and see how that goes. So for about 9 years, 9-year span, different situations would happen in my life. Things would happen as far as a trial or maybe a victory, something just really a significant thing in history in my life, and God would say, write that down, you're going to need it later. And I really never understood what that meant, but I definitely was obedient, and I wrote it down, not even understanding what it meant. Some things just seemed ridiculous to write down, but I wrote them down. So last year, my cousin and I, Cindy, who authored this devotional with me, we had the opportunity to go on tour with the Women of Joy Rescue Tour last year and have actually take our book along and have a book signing. Problem is, we only had 60 days to write the book if we wanted it to go along with this tour. So I thought to myself, for the last 9 years, God has told me to start writing these things down, not understanding why. So I took my phone, which I used Evernote at that time, and I plugged it into my computer, and lo and behold, 640 files that I had written in the last 9 years. This book right here, the devotional, basically is a 12 monthly themes. For an example, some of the monthly themes are trust, truth, forgiveness, bold service, bold friendship, bold identity, just to name a few. They have an action item for the week that you need to carry with you. It's just one a week. I am the queen of Bible studies. Who else is like a queen of Bible studies? If anyone comes out, you get it, the DVD, the workbook, the book, everything. Excuse me. My coffee table is full of them underneath. I do it for maybe the first 3 days, and then I beat myself up because I don't do it anymore. This is one a week, literally like a page a week. So I know for myself I struggle with that, and then I beat myself up that I didn't do it, and I spent all this money and didn't finish it. This is one a week. It has your action item, and it has a verse of the week that you can have memorize or do with what you'd like. What was great about this is that in addition to the book, we created an online community called the Live Bold series. And for 2018, Cindy and I basically went through this whole book from January to December, and it's an amazing space of community of about 500 bold women just like yourself. We do weekly Facebook Lives on Wednesday morning, have giveaways. We're having a podcast starting soon. But what was amazing was if I never wrote down all that stuff, I would have been just pulling my hair out going, okay, we have 60 days. You take half of it, you take it, 52 of them, so you take half and I'll take half. She's a seasoned writer, and I'm kind of like riding on her coattails, so I'm sure it would have been much easier for her, but for me, I think I really would have struggled. The problem was, in May of 31st of 2018, when the book came out, because everything was just go so fast, unfortunately, the wrong manuscript got sent to the printer. And so 2,500 books were printed with spelling errors, and me is M-E-I. I mean, just, it was, I was devastated. First of all, because I am performance driven. I have that perfection halo over my head. Everything has to be perfect to be able to work. And for me, in my eyes, I thought, this is my first go around of being an author. People are gonna laugh at me like, oh my gosh, what a joke. She can't even spell, things aren't done right. And I really struggle with that. The publisher ended up going back in and, redoing everything and having it right now on all of the, online where you can go find anywhere books are sold. But one day God spoke to me and he said, Andrea, I'm the author. You're not the author. You just happen to be the one I picked to write it, but I'm the author. I created those stories. I put those in your heart to write down. I did it for a purpose. What was amazing is after the Women of Joy tour, there were about 800 books left over that were wrong. And God spoke to me and he said, Andrea, do you not think that my message is going to get across just because of a couple spelling errors? If I want them to read it in purple, it's going to look purple. If I want them to look at it and not see anything and see it as perfect, that's how they're going to see it. This is my book. This is my devotional. How many of us struggle with trying to be the perfect wife? Have the perfect kids, the perfect job, the perfect house, the perfect car, the perfect body, the perfect marriage. When I realized there were 800 books left, my cousin and I got together, and we thought, let's just give them away. We can't sell them. What are we going to do with them? So it was amazing because what happens today is that they're in jails, women's recovery centers, outreach programs, homeless, battered women's shelters, where we've just gone and donated the books that are changing lives of women and giving them hope. So many times women say that, I hear them say that, Andy, I can't be bold. I'm an introvert. I don't go out there. I'm not an outgoing person. I'm not bold. But ladies, bold doesn't have anything to do with our character. We're bold because of the faith that we have in Christ Jesus that makes us bold. An amazing thing is that when we picked the title of this book, Live Bold, little did we know I had a dream of writing a devotional. She had a dream of writing a devotional. Her slogan was, live bold, leave a legacy. Mine was, live bold, grow your influence. So it's amazing how God has put those two kind of slogans together to make this book. But what's amazing is that the verse that we found that we carry with us whenever we tour is Psalm 138:3. And that was, I called out to you and you answered me, and you made me bold and gave me strength in my soul. We found that after we created the title of the book, which is the title of the book. So it was really incredible that God brought that to us. Sometimes we aren't able to see the outcome and we have to rely on our faith as far as what God's going to do with these 800 extra books. Sometimes it's like a sweet kiss from Jesus when he's able to show us what he can do with some of our mix-ups. And I felt God just spoke to my soul and said, Andrea, this book might not be perfect, but neither are you. And look at your life, look at your marriage, look at everything that's been gone wrong in your 50 years of your life. And look what I've done with it. Because anything that we think is bad and anything that we think we've done wrong, he is always going to turn it around for his glory. Every single time. I've heard it said that we live our lives by moving forward, but we understand life by looking back. Isn't that so true? After my grandmother passed away 3 years ago, my mom gave me her Bible and ended up finding out her favorite verse was Jeremiah 33:3. The first thing I want to say about that is it says, call to me and I will answer you, and I will tell you unsearchable great things that you don't know. What I loved about that is call to me and I will answer. It's a promise. Second thing is unsearchable things. You can't Google it. You can't ask your pastor. It's like a secret Facebook group, a private YouTube channel. You will never get the answer this side of heaven. Only by calling out to him and asking him will you get it. But he wants us to ask. But I want to share something with you about asking. 5 years ago, after 25 years of marriage, my husband and I separated for a year. It was a really, really dark place. And there was a lot of healing that needed to be done in both of us. I remember nights being on my knees in prayer, praying for my husband specifically for the reconciliation of our marriage and our family. And I remember one night I prayed the scariest prayer I think I've ever prayed in my whole life, and it went something like this. God, if my husband is not your very, 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 very best for me, then take away the desire to be reconciled with my family. because I can't do this anymore, it's killing me. The thing is, I said to him, I know what I want and I know what my desires are. Despite my wanting my family back as one unit again, even though I know that that's what I want, God's best is even better than that. Even if I don't know it in the moment. And what I have learned is that I can't trust what I feel. I have to go with what I know. Because eventually your feelings will catch up if we go with what we know, even if we don't feel like it. But God answered my prayer. My husband was his best for me. We'll be celebrating 31 years of marriage in May. And that was not without God's help, definitely not. But here's the thing I wanted to share with you today, and I wanted you to walk away with is this, that currently we're kind of in one of those seasons in our marriage. So I say, hey God, do that again. That thing that you did over here 5 years ago, do it again. I need you to do that again. You did it then, I need you to do it again. And he wants us to call out to him. Just like the verse said, he wants us to call out to him, but here's the problem with that. I think so many times we say, you do it. You do it because you're God and I know you can, and we don't want to do anything ourselves. So I call out to God and I say, God, do it again, and God says to me, you know what? Absolutely. I could do that again. Sure, I could do that again. But you do what you did back then. Where's that girl that was on her knees every night praying for her husband, on her knees, faithfully praying for him, even when she was mad, even when she didn't feel like it? Ladies, we have, if you're not married and you have a boyfriend, if you're not married and you just have this other person in your life that's not a husband, pray for that person. There's so much power in our prayers. And he says, absolutely, I can do what you're asking me, but where's that girl? Because I haven't seen her in a while. Ladies, I don't know how you walked in here this morning or what burdens you might be carrying, but God does. And I want to challenge you this morning. Are you talking about it more than you're praying about it? To your friends? Online? He wants us to call out to him, and he promises that he will answer, but we need to be bold women, and we need to take the step too. Hebrews 4:16 says, let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace in time of need. And then again, Psalm 138:3, in the day when I cried out to you, you answered me, you made me bold with strength in your soul. We are bold because Christ lives in us. That's what makes us bold. It has nothing to do with how shy you are or how outgoing of a person you are. You are bold. Whether you know it or not, you are. I want each and every one of you to know how precious you are to Jesus and how much he loves you. And there is nothing you could ever say or ever do that is going to make him love you more than he does right this very second. In closing, I want to share with you just a really quick exciting news that we have. In closing, when I got off the plane here in Idaho, a friend that moved out here from my church, she moved out here about a year ago, so I spent the first night with her out in Middleton. And my cousin texted me and she said, hey, guess what? We entered our book in the CELA Awards under the devotional category, and we are one of the 4 finalists for the devotional this year. And I never, ever thought that I'd be standing here today sharing that with you. It is just incredible, but this is what happens when God blesses that obedience of 9 years ago, writing stuff down when I didn't even understand why I was writing it down. Your story matters. If there's something specifically that I can pray for you about, there's paper right here on the table. I would love for you to just write that down, what that is. And I'd love to just take that back to Cynthia, and she and I would pray for you. You can also sign up to be part of our online Live Bold community. Like I said, with over 500 other bold women on there. It's an incredible community. With the women in there are just incredible. I wanted to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share it with you this morning. I'd love to come back at another time and share with you again. But last thing I want to say is, I have 5 girlfriends from high school that we still keep in contact with. We do everything together. 5. And I won't say how long ago that was. That was a really long time ago. However, together we've seen death, we've seen divorce, we've seen marriage, children, grandchildren. I'm the only one, the grandchildren. But cancer in 2 of them, one that was healed and one that's fighting for her life today as I stand here. This sisterhood, this tribe that you guys have is incredible. And I hope that these relationships and these friendships carry with you for decades. Because the older you get and when your children leave, sure we have our husbands, but girls, you know you need your friends. You know you need your friends. Over the last few years, I have prayed for my daughter, Kirsty, to bring godly women and a tribe of warriors into her life. To build her up, to support her, to love on her, because I know how important that was for me over the last 30 years. God answers prayers, but not always in the way that they go down in my head, right? When we ask God for something, I believe He answers in 3 ways. Yes, wait, and I have something better. It's never no. It's never no, because our no means you don't know what I have for you yet, it's coming. He moved her exactly 694 miles away from me. I've never been more than 20 minutes from her in the 27 years of life. But God answered my prayer because He brought her all of you. But He had to take her to another state to do that. But if God's going to bring godly women into my daughter's life and move her away from me, it's worth it. I'll take one for the team. Because I can always come and visit. But the camaraderie of women and friendship and tribe and sisterhood is so important. And I want her to have that. So I thank all of you for being that to her. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. One last thing, normally this book sells for $16.99 and then California tax is almost 10%. I love the 6% out here. It's great. Even at the village, it's like you save money actually when you buy things here. But then you ship it home, so I guess it's kind of equals it out. But today I'm going to offer the book for $12.99 plus tax, and it comes to $16.07. So if you guys would love, I'd love afterwards to sign it for you, pray with you. Whatever it is that you need from me. I'd love for you to join our local community and for you to see what we're doing this year. I just thank you guys for giving me the opportunity. Thank you so much for being there for my daughter. I really appreciate it. Thank you.